It's been a mad weekend. A mad weekend for football, especially. I was meant to do this video yesterday, so apologies I didn't do that. But wow, some of these results. Jesus Christ. Where do we start? I wonder. Actually, I want to go there last, because I actually wanted to speak about that game and what a mess certain clubs are in at the moment, especially after I heard the amount of chat that I was hearing over the summer, especially with a few people in my group as well. So we are going to get into that. Do not worry. Fixtures this weekend were quite decent. I didn't do any predictions last week. It's been a bit manic, but I won't be missing that again. I'll probably do like some predictions back end of this video at the minute. So we'll get into it. We'll start with Aston Villa versus Everton at Villa Park, 2-1 to Aston Villa. Not shocked by the result, to be quite honest. I said it from the start of the season. I don't believe Everton are collecting any points this month. Leading up to around about Christmas, I'm going to be honest, Everton look terrible. They are so poor. They're poor on the ball. They're poor off it. They can't finish. They can't defend. They signed a whole host of new defenders and still can't do the basics. I mean, it's going to be a long season for them. I don't see any change until Frank Lampard is out. It's as simple as that. They just don't look like a team that is going to instill fear into anybody this season. On the flip, Aston Villa looked okay. I don't think they look great, to be honest. Win's a win though, 3 points. They need to build on it, to be quite honest. Steven Gerrard has been allowed to purchase a fair few amount. So I understand gelling time and whatnot. I get it. Still trying to see the kind of style that they're trying to play at the minute, to be quite honest. Everything seems to be going through Jacob Murphy. His name escapes me. The youngster that likes to play on the left. I can't remember what his name. Jacob Ramsey, that's the one. Ramsey. Everything seems to be going through him at the minute. So Coutinho, I very, very rarely see him get on the ball this weekend, to be quite honest. So I personally think Aston Villa need to improve. But we shall see. We shall see in week 3. We'll go to St Mary's, Southampton 2, Leeds 2. Again, another result I'm not too shocked at. Leeds United went 2-0 up. Southampton forced a comeback. I don't particularly think these two teams are going to be pulling up trees this season anyway, so it doesn't matter to me. Yeah, it was just one of those games that you kind of, if you were to put a bet on it, you would know both teams are going to score. It doesn't sound like a 0-0 type of game. Both defenses are incredibly useless. Just a result that is what it is. 2-2 Southampton Leeds. We'll go to the Emirates. Arsenal versus Leicester. That ended up 4-2. Pretty decent game for what I caught. Arsenal obviously coming out on top. Gabriel Jesus bagging a brace. He just looks a cut above the rest in that Arsenal team at the moment. I mean, I still don't think Arsenal have played anyone of note as yet. Credit where credit's due, I suppose. They're on 6 points. They're only one of 2 teams to actually have taken maximum points from the first 2 games of the season. Obviously, them and Manchester City being the other. Yeah, their style is decent. But again, they've only played Crystal Palace and Leicester so far. But you can only beat who's in front of you. So, as it stands at the moment, yeah, they're doing okay. Leicester, I still think, are in trouble. Fofana has just come out and said that he's incredibly unsettled at the club as well at the minute. Wants to move to Chelsea. Feels like Leicester are pricing him out a little bit. So we're going to see where that goes. I know Maddison is still on the list of a couple of clubs as well to leave. Tielemans still as well. So it's going to be a long couple of weeks for Leicester, because obviously the window is still open as well, isn't it? So we'll see where that goes. But I think Leicester will be safe in the knowledge that they'll probably finish mid-table this season anyway. So they're in no danger of getting relegated at all. There were 3 games that ended 0-0 this weekend. Brighton versus Newcastle, Wolves versus Fulham. 2 games, sorry. Yeah, not much to really say. But I'm actually surprised about the Brighton-Newcastle game, to be quite honest with you. I thought Brighton-Newcastle might have had a few goals in it, but it shows defences are on top, which is good, to be quite honest, because I've never really had Brighton down to be a resolute defensive team. They're very good at keeping possession, and they're very good going forward until they obviously get into the box. And, you know, I still think a striker is on their agenda at the minute. I think Mope's on his way to Nottingham Forest, I think it is. So they're losing a striker at this moment in time. I'm not entirely sure what they're bringing in. Danny Welbeck is usually always injured. So it's a strange one for me. I don't really know where their goals are going to come from. I think they'll be calm in this league, to be quite honest, because they always find a way to score goals, but you just need a focal point, I think, sometimes. In certain games, they're going to need that. Newcastle, for me, there's no problems there. It's a good away point to pick up at Brighton, to be quite honest. Can be a tricky place to go at the Amex. So there, Newcastle for me are still, I think, upper echelon, 7, 8. I've said it every week so far, and nothing I've seen from them has changed my mind so far on that. So that's where we are on that one. As for Wolves versus Fulham, Mitrovic missed a penalty. Wolves, again, not pulling up any trees this week. We play them next week first, actually, on the Saturday at home. So that should be 3 points, hopefully. Not much to really report on that game. It was quite a boring game. Again, Fulham picking up another point. So that's 2 points for them already. Still unbeaten this start of the season. That Mitrovic penalty was terrible. Such a poor penalty. Expect better from him. But yeah, a 0-0 draw. Not much to write home about. Manchester City versus Bournemouth at the Etihad. You expected, I actually predicted this to be 5-0 to Manchester City, so I'm a little bit annoyed they only hit 4. They're not even sort of started yet. They're still in sort of second, third gear at the moment. Haaland didn't get on the score sheet. Did get an assist. I think Haaland only had about 8 touches, 2 successful passes, one of them at the kickoff and one of them to set up Gundogan for the first goal. Manchester City are going to be the champions for me. They just have too much more than anybody else at the minute. I don't think they're going to run away with it, but I do think they're going to win it by a good clear 7, 8 points. To be honest, they just look effortless in everything that they do at the moment, and I put that down to the system. And now they've got a focal point which they can obviously sort of launch pad, players like De Bruyne, Foden, maybe Grealish, put him in that bracket as well, where they can actually sort of be unleashed properly. They wouldn't necessarily be doing all the work by themselves, if that makes sense. I just think Man City are cut above everyone else. So 4-0 over Bournemouth, still undefeated. And I read a stat the other day, that's the first time Manchester City have actually kept a clean sheet in the first 2 games of the Premier League season, which is mental to me. But there you go. Sunday, we had Nottingham Forest versus West Ham. I actually called Nottingham Forest to beat on West Ham as well. So again, another game I'm not too surprised at. Forest played well. West Ham didn't play badly. I wouldn't say that they played badly. I just feel like they were very unlucky. On another day, they could have nicked a point from this. Probably could have won it. But as it was, Nottingham Forest dug in, did what they had to do. Defensively, they looked quite resolute, to be quite honest, putting their bodies on the line. So it's always good. They've got a really good goalkeeper in Dean Henderson as well. They work hard. They're a workhorse team. They're very, very good at what they do. Home form, again, is going to be key for them. They weren't one of the teams that's going to be in a relegation dogfight for me, because I think their home form will obviously set them up for success this season. I think success for them will be a good 13th, 14th place position, and I think that's what they'll get. Still buying at the moment as well. I think they'll be fine. So big win for Nottingham Forest this weekend at the City Ground. Again, on Sunday, we'll go Chelsea-Tottenham at Stamford Bridge. We were shocking. Point blank. We were terrible. We were so poor. But I usually say the mark of a good team is when they play badly, they can still pick up points. I still feel like under Conte, we're still sort of learning. But that was a good barometer of where we sit at the moment, because I don't think we're anywhere near Liverpool or Man City. Chelsea showed us in the first half how off par we are with them. Second half, we changed the system a little bit by bringing on Richarlison, and kind of went like to a 4-2-4. And obviously by bringing in Richarlison on, we scored, but we were still 4 at the back, which meant that we can't play a 4 anymore. So that's how Reece James got in with so much space, to be quite honest. But again, learning curves. We didn't come out that game losing. Yeah, Harry Kane, 96th minute. Equaliser. I don't think that's going to be the last minute goal that we're going to have this season. We always tend to pop up with last minute goals these days. So just shows that we are one of the fittest teams in the league, and we'll keep on going until the end. Chelsea, there's no changing on them just yet. They still are in the market. To my understanding, Aubameyang is their main striker, or want him to be their main striker. That's who they're going for, and they're still in for Frankie de Jong as well. Still want Wesley Fofana, as I stated before. So I think if they get them 3 in, I think Chelsea might actually be second in this league. I think Liverpool may drop down to third. I don't see much happening with Liverpool when it comes to transfers, and I think Liverpool are always a couple of injuries away of obviously falling. But obviously it depends on who the injuries are too. We're going to go to the GTEC Community Stadium, which is obviously Brentford Stadium, where obviously Man United went and lost 4-0. United are in trouble. I've got a feeling that this is going to last longer than Arsenal's drought last season when they lost their first 3 games of the season. Man United have Liverpool next weekend. Next week Monday. At Old Trafford. And for the life of me, I don't see Man United getting anything out of that game at all. I think Liverpool are going to handle them from start to finish. They're going to get yammed like Sunday lunch, boy. Jesus Christ. I don't know where Man United go from here at the moment. Everyone's going to be like, oh, you're overreacting. I'm really not. You see signs. There are already telltale signs there that it's fractured. Ronaldo wants to leave. Maguire's just not a very good player or a good captain. David De Gea, don't know what's happened to that guy. Lisandro Martinez is not for this league. McTominay and Fred. Christian Eriksen as a defensive midfielder. Bruno Fernandes is not in form. I don't think Jadon Sancho's that good. Marcus Rashford, I don't know what's happened to that brother. There are problems everywhere on that pitch, and it showed against a really resolute, solid Brentford team, which didn't actually play all that great. I thought Brentford just did the basics well. They hit a couple of long balls, and Man United are in trouble. Problems. United are in big problems, and I don't think Ten Hag is going to fix them. I don't think, even if Frankie de Jong did come, I don't think he fixes anything at the moment. Gary Neville was right. That whole club is wretched from start to finish, from top to bottom. It is just toxic in every way, shape and form. It's funny though, because I didn't know the fans were like that. So you're seeing the true Man United fans now. They've never known disasters like this. They've always had success. Well, now it's time to understand you're a normal club these days now. You're a normal club. So Alex Ferguson is gone. You are not seeing them higher peaks ever again. And that's just the nature of the beast, to be quite honest with you. I don't really know what else to add or say to that, but there's not really much to report on United. Credit to Brentford though. Brentford did their thing, 4-0. Happy days for Brentford. Can't complain about it either. Like, Man United were well beaten from start to finish. So as we know, Man United next week are at home to Liverpool. I've said my prediction on that already. I think Liverpool are going to absolutely go there and clark them to pieces. I'm probably going to go something like 3-4-0. Obviously, Liverpool did something similar to them last season before Solskjaer left. I think it's going to be the same again. Structurally, they're just not there. They're not with it. Speaking of Liverpool, they play now. In about half an hour. MNF is going to kick off, so I'm going to go back in and watch that. Liverpool Crystal Palace. I expect Liverpool to win tonight. I'm probably going to go with a 2-0 scoreline. I don't think Palace have anything for Liverpool, to be quite honest. Yeah, prediction will be for Liverpool. I think Liverpool will find this quite easy, to be quite honest. I don't think they'll get out of third gear either. Still kind of feeling their way into the new season. So that's where I'm at with that. Liverpool to win tonight, 2-0. That's what I'm going for. Next week, Everton are at home to Nottingham Forest at Goodison Park. If I was to predict a scoreline there, I'm guessing a draw. I can't see Everton picking up maximum points. They just don't score goals. Nottingham Forest, like I said, are very, very workhorse-like. and they'll dig right in. So I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw there. King Power, Leicester City versus Southampton. Again, that's another game that's going to be a lot of goals, both teams to score, but I'm going to go Leicester to win this one 3-1. I don't think Southampton are great, as I stated before. HasenHüttl hasn't found a formula where his defence stops conceding. And Leicester, I just think, have too much going forward. They looked good going forward against Arsenal, to be quite honest, and I see that form, especially going forward, continuing against Southampton. I think they'll score about 2 or 3. So 3-1 to Leicester for me over Southampton. London Derby, Craven Cottage, Fulham versus Brentford. I see that being a draw. A 1-1, 2-2 type draw again. I don't see Fulham getting beaten at home by Brentford. I see a lot of goals in this one as well. And it's a London Derby. Yeah, that's where my head is at with that. Brentford obviously being on a high after destroying United as they did. Fulham still unbeaten in the league as well this season. Yeah, I can see that being a draw again at Craven Cottage. Selhurst Park, Crystal Palace versus Aston Villa. Crystal Palace, for me, to pick up their first win of the season. I don't see, like I said before, Palace don't win a game, not winning a game tonight. I do see them beating Aston Villa next week, though. I think they'll come of age, and then we'll obviously start seeing results from them under Vieira, who I predict Crystal Palace will have a really good season this season. So, yeah, we'll go over a Crystal Palace win there of Aston Villa. Say right about 2-1. I think that'll be for me. Late game on Saturday, we are at the Vitality. Bournemouth host Arsenal. Tricky one. I think this might be a game where Arsenal might nick it. I don't think it's going to be a 3-4-0 drubbing. I think Bournemouth at home would be quite decent. They'll make it loud. Obviously have a few scalps throughout the years beforehand and have beaten Arsenal a couple of times at the Vitality as well. I say Arsenal will nick it. I'm going to go 2-1 to them but I think it'll be a really good game. Evening games on Saturday usually are, to be honest. They very rarely disappoint. Sunday, West Ham versus Brighton at the London Stadium. It's a tricky one again for West Ham. West Ham still out without defenders, but Brighton still without strikers. Oh, tough one. I'll go a draw, I'll go like a 1-1 draw here, with the potential of a Brighton win. I just think Brighton are a better outfit than West Ham. West Ham have the better players. Brighton are a better outfit. And their style is a lot better as well. You can obviously see what Graham Potter is trying to do. I think West Ham without defenders is a problem, of course. And I do think Brighton are the kind of team that would look to exploit that with the way they go forward. So I'll go with a 1-1 draw on that one, but with the potential of Brighton nicking that 2-1. So we'll go there. Ellen Road, Leeds United versus Chelsea. I don't see any other result other than a Chelsea win here. I just think Chelsea are far too strong. They'll dominate from start to finish there. From what I remember, I think they went to Leeds last season and won 3-0, 4-0, something like that. I see a similar type of scoreline this year. Yeah, Chelsea I can't see be beaten at Ellen Road next week. Newcastle versus Manchester City at St James's Park. Manchester City doesn't have the best record at St James's, to my understanding, from what I remember. I know they've won a couple there. I think they won it in like one of their title seasons. They won it there. But Newcastle are tricky customers, especially there. I see this one being a draw. I'm going to be honest. I don't see Man City going there and blowing them away. Newcastle are very, very good now. Very, very decent manager. Very, very decent squad with a very, very, very great fan base and a very, very good stadium, which would be rocking. Newcastle, Man City, I think that might be a draw. I'm going to go 1-1 on that. I'm going to go 1-1 on that one. City obviously are great. We know that. I just think it's one of those games. It's just feeling I get. I'll go with a draw, Newcastle, Man City there. I've mentioned Man United versus Liverpool, obviously. Needless to say where I'm at with that. I don't think Ronaldo stays long either. And I think if he leaves, then it's curtains for them, to be honest. And then obviously Tottenham versus Wolves. We kick it off, as I stated before. I do think we'll get the 3 points. Undefeated so far. This is a game week 3. Wolverhampton actually have a better head-to-head than us at our home ground. They actually beat us more than we beat them there, which is crazy to think of because, yeah, they've only been in the Premier League, what, I guess 8 years out of the 30 years the Premier League's been about. But Could be longer, to be honest. But Wolves tend to obviously get a result against us, especially at our stadiums. I do believe we're going to win this weekend, though. We do score for fun. We're scoring goals for fun at the moment. We scored 6 so far in 2 games. I do see us getting about 3 or 4 next weekend. I don't see Wolves holding us out as well. Connor Cody's gone. I don't think Wolves midfield is that good. Strike force is okay. Neto, Podence, if Jimenez is fit, they can cause problems. Defensively, I think Wolves are a mess. Goalkeeper's decent, but I don't think they have enough to stop us, to be quite honest. So I'm going to go 3 to 4-0 on that one. So that's my review. I'm going to give you guys another video probably on the Sunday, just after Super Sunday, as I was meant to do yesterday. But I won't miss that opportunity again, especially after what we've had sort of last week with the Man United game. And obviously Man United play next week, Monday as well. So I'll do it on the Sunday, and then might do one in the midweek to go through, obviously, what Man United Liverpool was on that Monday. But yeah, keep it locked, and I'll chat to you guys in about a week.